Cover. Here's Monty.
Heck yeah, it's Football Friday on the Monty Show. It's Friday, October 8th, and Jake isn't wearing glasses anymore.
Nope.
Jake, well, let's single you up here, bruh.
Yeah, single me up, you know.
What happened?
My face still looks like I'm a douche, but not wearing glasses anymore.
You're not wearing glasses anymore.
Yeah, it was a pretty epic day yesterday. It was cool.
Okay, so I think this is like the biggest story in sports today is that you're now a contact guy.
I mean, it's definitely a sport to be able to put contacts in, I think.
How long?
It's literally a contact sport, you know?
So how long have you been alive?
Like 10 hours.
Almost 28 years you've been alive.
Right.
Alive,
yeah.
not awake, alive.
Right.
Stay with me here.
Sorry, my bad.
You've always struggled to put contacts in your eyes.
Yeah, it just has never really been a thing. Like, my eyes have always just been, you know, relentless with not being able to do it, you know? And then I just was like, all right, well, I'm kind of tired of it, so, you know, let's go ahead and wash my hands every night for a month and touch my eye and piss my eye off and then go get contacts.
Wow. So now you got contacts, and how long did it take you to put them in this morning?
Well, the right eye has always been easier for me, so the right eye took like 5 minutes, like 3-4 attempts. And then the left eye was really difficult. That took me literally, I intentionally made sure that I was out of bed and in the shower about 5 minutes earlier than I usually am, just to buy myself a couple extra minutes, and I was still 5 minutes late. So needless to say, the left eye took like 20 minutes, not exaggerating.
Well, I think you're going to see that you'll be just fine. I mean, it's a matter of time, but I'm proud of you. You are. This is bigger than your balls dropping or going through puberty.
I know, it's huge.
This is a big flipping deal now.
Yeah.
I want you to know that.
I know.
You're now a man and stuff.
In stuff. Right.
There you go.
I'm a man.
Val Umfres says aloha. Chris Karn says
Hello.
good morning. Chris, how are you? Good to see you. Let's start talking some ball because this is a huge weekend for BYU. There you go. A little Cougar action, baby. Boise State, 1:30 ABC TV. It is a national game, not on cable, over the air. This is pretty rare. This tells you how big this game is for BYU, the number 10 Cougars, hosting what is undoubtedly and without doubt one of the worst BSU Boise State teams that we have seen in a number of years. But don't take them lightly because this Boise State team, as we're going to tell you in a minute, can really throw the ball. The question, Jake, for me is, will BYU be able to throw the ball? There really has been no update since Wednesday on the quarterback situation at BYU. We told you on this show that we have heard for, really since late Sunday into early Monday, we had been hearing that you were not going to have Baylor Romney out with a concussion. Jaren Hall was still struggling with this shoulder and this rib issue. He has progressed during the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Every day he got a little better, but he was not going to be able to start. And that Jacob Conover was going to get the start and Jaren would be dressed but not likely to play unless something happened with Conover. That has not changed. Then again, BYU yesterday went radio silence. Like there was nobody talking. It's interesting that Kalani and company are really holding their cards close to the vest on what they're going to do at quarterback here, Jake.
Yeah, and I think it's smart. I mean, why would you give Boise any kind of intel on who you're going to roll out there? You know, I mean, I think we can all agree that, Conover is the front runner just mainly because he's 100%. I think there's no getting away from the fact that even if Jaren wanted to play, he wouldn't be 100%. And so the question really is, and it's really not even a question. We've been telling you this all week, but on a surface level, the question would be, well, do you want to play a young guy in Conover who's 100%, or do you want to play a Jaren who has proven to be solid but is not 100%? And I'm telling you, I'd roll out there with Conover. You have a lot to lose in this game. Obviously, you want to stay undefeated, but it's not like if you roll Conover out for the first, drive and he sucks that you can't take him out. So I just don't understand why you wouldn't roll Conover out there, understanding that there is some risk in it. He does have a lot to prove. He is unproven. That is absolutely true.
Yeah, but I think I look at the quarterback situation for BYU. I am one of the lone wolves. I think Baylor Romney's the best quarterback they have. If Baylor Romney's healthy, I think he should be your number one. But guess what? Candies and nuts, my aunt's not my uncle. Baylor Romney's not playing this week.
Yeah.
And when I look at the difference between an unhealthy Jaren Hall And if the rumors are true that he's really having trouble getting the ball out, he's having trouble throwing with force in that shoulder. If that's true, and I had one guy tell me on Wednesday morning that, the biggest issue is if it's a 5 to 7 yard pass, Jaren Hall's good to go. Anything over that, the BYU coaching staff does not believe that he can accurately and effectively complete a pass with the issue in his shoulder. So I think it makes it very difficult to play Jaren Hall. But I also am the lone wolf who believes that Jacob Conover is an incredible prospect. This is a kid that was highly recruited. If he had not gone out and served a mission, I think he would be starting right now at BYU. But he did, and now you have a guy that really hasn't started a football game in 3 years, took his first competitive snaps in 3 years last weekend at Utah State. I would roll with Conover. Yeah. I'm not playing Jaren Hall until he's 100%. Never mind he's got ribs. Now he's got a shoulder. I'm not taking a risk on Jaren Hall's long-term viability. Hell, he's a redshirt sophomore. He's got a lot of games left in front of him potentially. I'm not taking that risk. I have one of the highest recruited quarterbacks in the country in his class in Jacob Conover. That's who I'm rolling with, Jake. And I think if Conover starts, I think they're going to roll Boise State.
Yeah, I think that's who they're going to play. I think more the conversation with the quarterback situation is the premise of the whole thing. Like, obviously the only thing that works against Conover is just that he hasn't played a lot. That's it. I mean, he's got, like you were just saying. I mean, yep. This is one of the most highly recruited guys out there. So I don't have doubts that the kid is capable. Zero doubts, because you're not recruited that high of a level if you're not capable. All I'm saying is whether we like it or not, or however you feel about it, he is unproven until he shows that he can do it. And so what I'm saying is, hey, ideally when you roll out into this game in the first half, I want to see this guy throw it all over the yard and put up 25 points in the first half. That's what I want to see. I'm not saying if it's less than that, he's a disappointment, but that would be awesome to see them go out, start running the ball with Algier early, and then start taking some shots. And I just would love to see that. And I think Boise is a team who's a bit beat up on defense. I think they're not, even if they were 100% healthy, I don't think they're on BYU's level in terms of talent and size and their abilities. So I do agree that BYU should win this game comfortably. The only thing that will hold them back from winning this game is if Conover starts and gets hurt, because then you're going down the rabbit hole of, okay, who we bringing in? What's that look like?
Yeah.
Where are we at?
But I think the other issue that you have to really focus here on is, oh, by the way, there's an opponent on the other side of the field. And Hank Bachmeier can really throw the football. I think we've seen that for sure. Now, this is not your standard average Boise State football team.
Right.
They are not very good. They, I think, just handed the game to Nevada last week. And one of the things that's very clear, with Bachmeier is that he's turnover prone. Mm-hmm. And this BYU defense has been an opportunistic defense. I think we can all agree on that they have largely forced teams like Utah State. I think we saw it against Arizona State. They have forced teams into doing things they're not comfortable doing. And I think that is a significant part of what has ailed Boise State and making them such a difficult team to forecast. Because when you have a guy in Bachmeier that can throw for almost 400 yards against Nevada, you know that he's prolific. Yeah. They have the weapons. The question is, they're undisciplined, and in my opinion, they make a lot of their play calling has been very suspect this year. And looking at some of their game tape, their play calling has been very suspect.
Yeah.
But here's the problem for BYU. That secondary's not been healthy. It's going to be interesting to see if Mahe plays for BYU this week. He's missed some practice time. That's going to be a question. Is he going to play? And if he plays, I think BYU's fine. I mean, Mahe is such a difference maker on that defensive line. And this front seven for BYU really has covered up for a lot of inefficiency and a lot of, frankly, just not good secondary play out of BYU. And I think we saw it last week up in Logan that they can be had over the top of this defense.
Yeah.
Coverage is going to be a problem in this game. And if Bachmeier throws for 300-plus yards, this is going to be a much closer game than it should be.
Yeah, and I think Khalil Shakir is the guy that you got to look for in terms of weapons for Boise State. I mean,
Yes.
the Bachmeier to Shakir connection is definitely there. Shakir is a guy who can. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he is a deep threat. There's no doubt about it. I mean, if you let him loose, you're going to have problems. And I think that BYU just has to be disciplined on defense in this game. Don't make the mental mistakes. Stay home, work your assignment, do what you're supposed to do, and you're not going to have an issue in this game. I think where Boise State really starts to thrive and really eat teams alive is when those defenses are undisciplined, when those defenses, don't have good gap assignment, when those defenses on the back end are not playing their concepts the right way. So that's why I say when you look at a guy like, Khalil Shakir, he's somebody who can make the big play, and that's what you worry about with him. Hey, let me throw it up to this guy, and let's see if he can go and run it down. And if you're BYU, we all know and love the BYU two deep safeties prevent defense. And I think you're going to see a ton of that in this game, and they're going to just keep everything in front of them and make Boise State grind it out. And I think if that's the kind of game you play, Boise State has no chance. I think the only way that Boise State is even in this game is if BYU is making mistakes defensively and Boise's getting the big play. That's what they're going to need to really be in this game.
Well, Riley Smith is also supposed to be back for the Broncos. I think that's definitely something to watch. But let's be honest, this game's going to be won and lost in the breadbasket of Tyler Algier because I don't think it matters who you play at quarterback. You're going to establish the run until Boise proves that they can stop it. And guess what? All season long, Boise has proven that they cannot stop the run.
And why wouldn't you? I mean, why wouldn't you just turn around, hand it off to Algier, bring in Peeny for a couple possessions or a couple plays, and just work that dynamic? I mean that is honestly, think about it. Again, not that I'm hating on Jacob Conover, but again, young guy coming in, you want to get his feet under him, you want to get him comfortable. So let's hand it off a couple extra times, Let's get him ingratiated into the game and see how it feels. And if we can run for 5+ yards a carry, why would we not just keep handing it off? I don't know why you wouldn't. You have one of the I don't know if it's an exaggeration to say that Algier's one of the best backs in the country, but he's got to be top 15.
That's not an exaggeration at all. I think Tyler Algier has had an incredible start to this season. He's run explosiveness and power. I don't think there's any doubt he's one of the best backs in the country right now. I don't think there's any doubt he's one of the best NFL prospects at running back in the country right now.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that he's going to have to do is run the ball on third down. Like, I don't think BYU in this game can be scared to run the ball on third down. You cannot, in my opinion, and I think BYU's a little guilty of this when it comes to play calling. And the one complaint I have about BYU's offense is play calling.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes BYU falls into the trend and the stats on third down. Obvious passing situation. Don't be scared to turn around and run the football with Tyler Algier, and don't be scared to go for it on fourth down. I mean, Boise State's a team that can't get off the field on third down. That's a team that is, I think, 110th in the country on third down conversions.
Brutal.
Allowing 45% conversion on third down. 110th in the country. Don't be scared to be aggressive against this Boise State defense. Now, having said that, I love how aggressive BYU's offense has been. Just situationally, and at times, I feel like BYU tends to get a little conservative.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a guy who says, okay, I see the one clear weakness at Boise is they can't stop your mom from running the football through the A-gap.
Right.
So run the football through the A-gap with one of the best backs in the country. I think that's something that you have to do. And again, I'll also say, I don't care who the quarterback is. If you have Algier in the backfield, turn around and give him the ball.
Yes.
But also, what does that do for quarterbacks? If and my number for Tyler Algier is 150 yards. If you can get him to 150 yards, anything after that's gravy. You're probably going to win the game because you're burning clock. You're converting on downs and distance. So you're getting first downs. You're extending possessions. To me, that makes a lot of sense because it also opens up the play action game.
Yeah, I mean, if he's got 80, 90 yards heading to the half, this game's over. I mean, this game's absolutely over because, like you were just saying, it does open up the play action game, but I also think it brings the linebackers up. And so, when the linebackers start coming closer to the line to protect against the run, now you've got more space in the intermediate route, which brings the safeties up, and now you're taking deep shots. So I just think that either way, for this team, what we've seen is even against last week against Utah State. I mean, Algier breaking them off for several big runs. I mean, that's
Yes.
what we're going to be looking for. And I think the biggest thing that the biggest thing I like about Tyler Algier is his patience at the line. When he doesn't see the hole developed yet, he waits, and he waits that extra half a step. And that often leads to 5, 6, 7 yards. And I think you can't teach that, because that shows you he's got elite vision. And when you have that kind of vision, it makes you an elite back. That's the best way to say it.
Well, and I think we've also seen that's led to his big runs. I
Yeah.
mean, the last 2 weeks he's had, 60, 70-yard runs, and it's almost becoming part of his game. But, one of the other trends I think you should watch for in this game is how does BYU score its touchdowns? Because one of the concerning factors, if it is a concerning factor, is that this team's become reliant on the big play. And you really would like to be able to string together 8, 10 play drives, where you have some chunk plays. Sure, every offense needs chunk plays, but one of the things we saw when Baylor was playing was Romney on Romney crime, man.
Yeah.
Like that deep ball over the top is exquisite. And I think that's what South Florida, that's what we saw when the defense was hurt and you needed to score more points. BYU went up top and they did it very well. Now, you also got big plays out of the running game against Boise or against Utah State once Baylor went out of the game. So I think you can play both styles, especially when you control the ground game. That's something I would watch for. But again, I think what's going to happen here is I think Conover's going to start. I think Jaron Hall's going to dress and likely not play. And I do think that there's a real chance that you are going to see Soldier for the first time be in a position where he darn well may be in a game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with all the injuries BYU has had, and, oddly, BYU's had a lot of injuries this year. And I know that when you start talking about quarterbacks getting hurt, that's when everybody starts looking at your injuries. But they're not healthy in the secondary. They have not been consistently healthy on the defensive line. The offensive line, between Empey and LaChance, I mean, you've seen real building block foundational players on that offensive line missing significant time. And by the way, Harris LaChance is not going to play this week.
Again.
And it looks like Empey should be good to go. Mahe should be good to go from what I understand. Like, you're just seeing that there's a lot of injury issues on this team right now. If BYU were 100% healthy, we would be having a very different conversation about this game, but they're not.
Yeah, I think we just got to stop assuming LaChance is going to come back. Like, it's going to be a minute, clearly. Like,
I think so.
The guy is going to be out for a while. I mean, like, I'm not trying to exaggerate at all. Like, I'm just hoping he's available for USC. Honestly, because after this, like, after you play Boise, can he play against Baylor? Okay, great if he can, but likely probably not. So after Baylor, now all I give a damn about is USC, because the rest of those opponents you really should be able to take care of.
Yeah, you should absolutely handle Washington State. There's no doubt about that. And then obviously you're playing some
Virginia.
Virginia is the one game that comes to my mind where that's going to be a battle. I mean, one of the things I think is interesting, and we need to really, not today, but leading up to that Virginia game, we need to have a talk about Broncos' legacy at BYU, because talking to some BYU fans this week, I think it's
mixed emotions.
I think this BYU football program owes Bronco Mendenhall a massive debt of gratitude. And right now, I don't hear that from BYU fans, but we'll talk about that on another day. Let's get some of your comments in here. What's up? Mike Bird says, go Cougs. Chris Karn says, today's lock is I will have a new smoker next week to prep for the Baylor game. Look at you, Chris Karn.
Guy.
Hey, man, we're right on top of it right now. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you need to get subscribed now, because we're 30 away from giving away the smoker.
Greatness.
Yeah, we're 2469. So we're just 31 subscribers away from giving away the smoker. We picked up 41 subscribers, I think it was.
Dude.
On Wednesday. We picked up 17
You guys
more
have been
yesterday.
amazing, bro. Like,
yeah, we really appreciate you supporting the show. So all you have to do is hit subscribe, then take a picture that you're subscribed, tweet that at us. And if you've done that already, you don't have to do it again. But tweet that at us, and you have to tag us both. So Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok, any of those three, and you have to tag us both. SLC Supercars for Jake. He's not wearing glasses anymore. It's fine. I know it's awkward.
Don't freak out.
And then there is me, the Monty Show, Monty, the Monty Show. So there you have it. By the way, I would also remind you.
Yeah.
I'm expecting 10 reps at 225 tomorrow at the gym.
Well, I'm back on the steroids known as creatine, so we'll see what it is.
Yeah, how about that the other day? Those are steroids. No, they're not. Kevin Blissett says, hey, boys. Hey.
Hello.
Hey. Teddy Wayman says, morning. Teddy, what's up? Val Umpress says, go Cougs. Ramiro says, morning, fellas.
Hello.
Greg Hawkins says, what's up, fellas? Spencer Morgan says, Utah started Jordan Wynn for 2 seasons with his arm basically hanging out of his socket. Jordan Wynn never really had the strongest arm in the world. I would agree with that. He says, who needs a healthy quarterback? BYU fan CJ says, BYU rolls tomorrow on the back of defense in Algier, no matter who comes out as quarterback. Well, you know what? If you want to hear the Rock going crazy and you want to have a good day tomorrow, 150 yards and hopefully 2 scores out of Tyler Algier. That would almost cement a victory for BYU, in my opinion.
Yes.
Let's see. Greg Hawkins says, I was a student when Wynn got injured. Oh, he added Spencer Morgan. When Wynn got injured and we had backup Division III quarterback John Hayes.
Jesus.
That was an interesting season. Spencer Morgan also says, wow, comment dump. Thank you. LOL, I love how we're just going to assume a completely unproven QB equals a win versus Boise as long as he doesn't get hurt. Slurp, slurp. Well, Boise's not very good. I don't know how, I mean, this is one of the worst starts to a season in recent history for Boise State.
Yeah.
This is not.
We're not playing Baylor. Like, let's be clear. I mean, you're not playing like some Power 5 dominant opponent.
This isn't Virginia or USC. This is a struggling Boise team. And BYU's strengths play directly to Boise State's weaknesses. BYU runs the football with ferocity. Boise doesn't stop the run very well. BYU gets after the quarterback. You have a quarterback in Hank Bachmeier who's been turnover prone. Like, I mean, there's reasons to be optimistic that no matter who starts at quarterback. Yes. But again, this goes back to the recruiting conversation we have on this show a lot. And I know that this pisses off Ute fans, but when we're talking about, hey, by the way, Corner Canyon lost last night. I don't know how many people saw that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Corner Canyon lost. But when you have guys like the best players at Corner Canyon coming to BYU, when you have a guy like, again, Jacob Conover, who was clearly the best quarterback in Arizona the year he came out, coming to BYU, when you have a guy like, name the guy, like, do you realize how big this weekend in Provo is? You have massive recruits that are going to be in the building who are on campus right now. They're tweeting photos, the gift bags that they get, all the gear that they get, the photos that are taken. Being 5-0, being 10th in the country, getting into the Big 12, beating Utah. It's all this recruiting momentum. Yeah. And again, I know, and we talked about this on the show. I think we even made a thumbnail about the fact that BYU just won the recruiting battle in Utah because they're winning games. They're getting into the Big 12. BYU is doing everything that you want to do. If you're a high school junior or senior, you're waiting for your letter from BYU. This is now a much more attractive property than just about any other school in the state, and that includes Utah. I think when you look at what's going on at Utah, they're in a tailspin, and I think that you look at what's going on at BYU, they're rocketing up the board. No more talk about, let's go back to the Mountain West. Independence worked.
TDS.
Independence worked. Yeah, TDS, little brother down south. Hey, thanks for the scrimmage. Do you understand how much momentum BYU has? Do you understand what's on the line? Do you understand now that they are 3 and 4 deep at several key positions, defensive line, offensive line, wide receiver? You have 3 quarterbacks that are very capable of coming in. And again, Conover's unproven, so let's even say you have 2. Your top 2 quarterbacks are capable at a very high level of performing. Right, even though, again, I'm going to tell you, Baylor Romney's the best quarterback on this roster, but you're 4 deep at quarterback right now. I mean, you just have You have a lot going on that's good. You're as deep as you have ever been. You're as well coached and as disciplined as you have ever been. So yeah, if you a lot of people are, oh, you're drinking the blue Kool-Aid. Yep, by the gallon, and I am chugging it. Because this program is going in the right direction. And how long has it been since you've been able to say that BYU is the best football program in the state?
Yeah, I mean, I guess who would be surprised if Conover rolled out and was good? You know, I mean, would that really be that surprising? I mean,
No.
I agree he's unproven. I'm with that. I've been saying that. We've had disagreements on the show about it. But I just think it wouldn't be surprising if he rolled out and was comfortable, if he was prepared. I mean, honestly, like, when the biggest thing that stands out to me about these teams that Kalani is leading is they're always prepared. Nothing seems to surprise them or shake them. I mean, even when Baylor left the game last week, it was like, okay, well, we got a new quarterback coming in. Let's just turn around and hand it off. And what do you know? Algiers breaking people off and running people over and flexing on dudes.
But the other thing is, it's not like Jacob Conover was a disaster last week.
Yeah, but he didn't show you anything where you were like, wow, this kid can really throw the football.
But
like,
if you're A-Rod, or if you're Kalani, are you really gonna with a lead? You're clearly in control of the game. By the way, BYU is still not trailed in a game.
I agree.
But
Listen,
are you really going to come in and have a guy that's not played in 3 years throw the ball all over the field?
It wasn't a conducive environment to have him throwing all over the field. They were ahead. They needed to run the football. I agree. But on the other side of that, that also means that he hasn't shown us what he can really do. He hasn't shown, okay, this guy can step on the field and this offense doesn't lose a step. And that's what I think BYU fans are concerned about. They want to see, is this guy more than just turn around and hand it off or throw the quick slant? You know, can this guy bomb it down the field? That's what people want to see.
Yeah, I think that you're going to see what depth looks like and what poor depth looks like Saturday afternoon. Because one of the things that's a real issue for Boise is they're just not very deep. They have no depth on their offensive line. They have really struggled. And I think that's why Hank Bachmeier's turned the ball over so much. Because he has a sense of urgency, which at times has hurt their offense because he also has, thrown the ball away very quickly at times. You're going to see a Boise team that's probably as shallow as it's ever been. I mean, they're lacking talent at Boise State right now.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very interesting interesting deal.
Right now, this game really isn't in. Like, this should not be viewed as a game where BYU is concerned about losing, right? That's not really the concern here. They should beat this team comfortably. What we're looking for is, yes, what is Conover? Does he live up to the hype? Does he live up to the recruiting messaging that we all have heard all week long about him? A. B, can this defense show up and play good, sound, fundamental defense? Can they be disciplined? And C, can they create a turnover? Because what they've been doing is creating turnovers in all of these games, and that's been giving the BYU offense more possessions and more to work with. So I wouldn't be surprised if they turn Boise over a couple times. Honestly, I wouldn't.
Well, you're going to have to figure out how to cover Khalil Shakir. I mean, that is him and Bachmeier have clear chemistry. He is capable. For being a college kid, he's a really good route runner. You don't see elite route running very often. He's one of those guys. And he's a guy that, if you allow him to catch the football and he can take 2 steps, he's capable of taking it to the house every single time. So you're really going to have to account for him. And I'm telling you now, if you can hold him under 100 yards, I just don't see that Boise can win this game. I mean, if you hold him to 3-4 catches, 65, 75 yards, there's just no way that Boise has enough firepower to win this game.
But see, I wouldn't even want it to be that, because what that's telling me is they're connecting on the 15-yard route, right? Like, I don't even want that. I want BYU beating this kid up. I want them to.
Yeah, but that's not how that secondary plays.
I mean, that might be true, but that doesn't change the fact that that's what needs to happen in games like this. You need to send a message early in the game that you're not taking the deep shot on us. We're not allowing you to be comfortable running around this secondary.
Right, but I just don't think that BYU has the bodies in the secondary to prevent you from going deep on them. Because listen, if Shakir wants to run by you, he's going to do that. He's probably faster than anybody in that BYU secondary. I think that it's all well and good that your philosophy is to keep everything in front of you. I don't, I don't love that as a defense, but Kalani's playing that style of defense because that's what his talent dictates.
Yeah.
I understand that. But at some point, you're going to have to find a corner who can stay healthy and who can run with the other team's top receiver. I mean, Tompkins got you against Utah State, and that's what scares you about Khalil Shakir. Because when you have that kind of big playability, you're really never out of a game. When you are, every snap has the potential to go for a touchdown, there's no better example than that of BYU's offense. Every time, especially with Baylor Romney in the game because he's got such a big arm, every time that Baylor Romney's in the game and you snap him the football, there's a chance he's going to throw a touchdown.
Right.
Because his arm is just that good. And when you have the ability to play at multiple levels offensively, when you can play the intermediate, the short, and of course you can play the deep with this wide receiver group, you're lethal.
Yeah.
The problem is Boise State can't play short. They can't play intermediate because they can't run the ball. So I think there are very few opportunities for Boise to win this game. Deep consistently is one of the ways you're going to win this game. And by the way, I think the other thing is if you're going to sell out, and Riley Wimpy, who's the best player on that Boise defense, if he's going to be, responsible for Tyler Algier, I mean, you can see how Boise would have to go about it to win the game. I just don't see how they do it. BYU is bumped up now to a 6.5-point favorite from 2. The number's 58. I like this 38-28 BYU.
Man, I don't want to see them giving up 28 to Boise, though, dude.
It's going to happen.
I can't. I won't have great things to say about the defense if they give up 28 to Boise. 21, okay. I can get down with that. 3 scores, all right, cool. 4, 5 scores, no. We can't. That's not going to work.
Well, and look, I hope you're right.
I would love to see BYU at 42 points in this game and hold them to 21, 24 points, something like that. That's what I'd love.
Brian Carter says Bronco is a Hall of Famer at BYU. Kevin Blissett says, yep, Bronco kept us floating through the early days of independence.
Yeah.
Provo Pit Barbecue, what's up? He says Bronco's 3-3-5 defense was money when he had the personnel.
Hey, can I just ask Provo Pit Barbecue, do you own like a barbecue place or something? Or that was just the name you came up with?
That's got to be a business, right?
I'm just curious.
The Nye guy says Trent Forrest suiting up at QB for BYU. Could be. Could be. I mean, Trent's the greatest point guard that's ever worn a Jazz uniform.
Listen, he dribbled the ball 3 times. He's the Jesus Christ of Utah Jazz basketball, right?
Yeah, I mean, we don't remember John Stockton Honda at all.
Who the f*** is that guy?
The Eclectic Redhead says this year will be huge for recruiting. Better be. And it is. They've already flipped several recruits. So BYU's winning the recruiting battle in this state right now. Provo Pit Barbecue also says BYU has flipped 2 recruits from Utah and 4 more are considering.
Yeah.
I mean, this could be one of the best classes ever. I mean, you've already got skill position talent in the fold.
Coming off of the Zach Wilson era. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, you need to find a second. You need to upgrade and get better in the secondary. And you need to, I mean, if you project forward a little bit, I would assume that Jacob Conover would be your starting quarterback going to the Big 12. You need to continue the quality offensive line play that you're getting. I just think right now you've got linebackers, you've got trench play. You need secondary help. The one real weakness on this football team is the secondary. Other than that, every other unit's pretty strong. I mean, you can kick the ball pretty well. You're disciplined. You're staying home. Your special teams are disciplined. You need to develop that secondary. To me, that's where you would be pointing. Brian Carter says BYU played the Independence long game and won. Absolutely right. Mm-hmm. They did. There's no doubt. Spencer Morgan says if Boise is so bad, comment dump. If Boise is so bad and if BYU is 40 at QB, then why would Conover getting hurt mean they lose the game? Well, I would say because you can't just keep throwing true freshmen into the game. I mean, Sol Jay's a fabulous recruit, but
yeah, you don't want to do that.
I mean, when you have 2 quarterbacks the caliber of Jaron Hall and Baylor Romney, and they're both hurt, there's no program that's going to be able to continue to perform at their level best offensively when your top 2 quarterbacks are hurt.
And that's what I'm saying. I think this game plan, and this is something within the game that you got to watch. I mean, let's watch and see. I mean, what kind of game, does Roderick call here? Like, is it Is it a lot of passing? Is it more? Is there going to be an emphasis on run heavy the first like 15 plays, and no matter, even if those are 3-and-out sets, like
Yeah.
you know what is the mission this week outside of actually winning the ball game? Of course, what is the emphasis on? Do they roll out, for example, hand it off to Algier on the first play of the game, throw a quick slant on the second play of the game, take a shot on the third play of the game, and get a first down? Like, is that what we'll see? That's what I'm going to be looking for. Because, frankly, and this is what you've been saying all week, and this is something that you got to pay attention to as a BYU fan. If Conover comes out and balls out, if he does, if this is 350, 4 or 5 scores, that kind of a performance out of him, okay, now you've got a conversation in Provo. Now you're like, okay, who's our guy? Because if Conover rolls out and has a game, I think it's a legitimate conversation. I would still be playing Baylor, but now Conover's in the mix. And so I just think that there's a lot on the line for Conover this week, and I'll be curious to see how they go about calling this game.
Yeah. I'm more worried about the defense. The offense is going to take care of itself. You have the luxury of one of the best backs in the country, and you're going to wear it out. And I would think that this is a week Lopini Katoa is going to carry the football quite a bit.
Just so you can go to Pound Town.
I mean, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. I mean, my bigger concern is, you've got to find somebody to step up. It's probably Morgan Piper, who I think has been making more and more plays as the season's gone on here. But guys like that got to step up. Chaz Ayu, I think, is playing really good football right now. And I mean, those are the guys that are going to have to do the job. I mean, the guys up front, the secondary is going to have to play well. Malik Moore is going to have to make plays. You're going to have to find ways to turn the football over against Boise. Because what ideally would happen here is you would bury these MFers and send them back to their blue turf. Have them come to Provo, and you will be up 14-0. It's the blink of an eye.
Drop that motherfucker.
Be up 14-0 before they even get off the bus. That's how you step on people's necks. And that's always been Kalani's philosophy, is make them understand that they're coming here not to win a football game.
Bury them.
Because never give them the idea that they can win this football game. Utah State never believed that they were going to win that football game last weekend. Not even before Wednesday afternoon, after practice, Utah State knew they weren't going to win this game.
They were drinking their protein shakes talking about who they were playing next week.
They were not going to win this game, period, right? You have a wounded, really, really as untalented of a Boise team as I've probably ever seen. Put him to bed.
Yeah.
I mean, put him to bed and let's handle your business and move on to Baylor.
Yeah.
That's your job tomorrow afternoon. And I think, from what I understand, what I've been told this week, they've had a great week of practice. They have really been able to focus on resting key guys. Dinged up guys have been rested. They've rehabbed. They're locked in. And it feels like BYU had a really good week of practice. Let's go see that on Saturday afternoon. Folks, it's on ABC TV.
Yeah, that's the thing. PR-wise, this is no small game.
It's a big deal. It's absolutely a big deal. Provo Pit Barbecue says, if Conover and Solche get hurt Saturday, the water boy is the new QB.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I mean, I'm available to suit up.
Listen, you don't have unlimited options here. That's what I'm saying. Conover's health is of the utmost importance.
Yeah. Daryl says, most important player tomorrow is Katoa. When Algier rests, we need a run threat that can make 5 yards each time. Yeah, I would think so.
And he hasn't been that yet. He has not been that yet. I mean, I think, last week against Utah State, Katoa was the guy who comes in and
I left it on you. Sorry.
Hello. The guy came in and ran it for 1 or 2 yards. And that's not all on him, obviously, but I think I agree with that 100%. And I think if you can get both guys going, that's just going to make your life a lot easier.
Bryce Demand says Bachmeier won't play second half either because he's already hurt or they're afraid he will be hurt. I don't know about that. The Eclectic Redhead says if they throw deep consistently, does Malik Moore get another pick? I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like I think that BYU is going to turn this team over a couple times just because of that.
Provo Pit Barbecue says he just came up with a name. It's not a business.
Okay. I like it, dude. You got a
right.
smoker or something? You got a barbecue? What are we working with here?
Yeah, what are we smoking this weekend?
Something.
Daryl says, whoa.
Comment dumb.
Comment dumb. Mont, 2 weeks ago, Romney is very good. Mont, now Romney is Thor. But I've said this since spring
you've
ball.
been on the Baylor train for a while.
I said since spring ball, Jaron Hall's going to be your starter. Your best quarterback's going to be your number 2. Baylor Romney's arm is fantastic. And you look, how dynamic is their offense when he's in the game? I mean, if you look at just his obvious natural chemistry with his brother, I'm sure. Let's go. I mean, he is a sexy beast. I'm telling you right now that. And Baylor Romney's your best quarterback.
I want it.
You need a guy that he clearly understands defenses. He's able to get to his third read. And when you're getting to the third level in college, you're usually going to have a good afternoon.
I hit dingers.
And he has consistently hit dingers. It is what it is, right?
He really has. I mean, there's no getting around that.
You know, Cam Harrison says it should be a business. It's a cool name. It should be.
That's what I'm saying.
Provo Pit Barbecue says I have about 18 pits in the backyard. I do mostly fundraising. Nice.
Nice, dude.
Tyler Holden says Oklahoma Boise score was 21-20 as a point of reference. Okay. By the way, Oklahoma, Texas tomorrow. Oklahoma's only
That's
a 3-point
actually
favorite.
a really good point by that commenter. That's a really good point. 21-20 Oklahoma. So if BYU beats Boise, let's say 42-21. If they just kick the living hell out of Boise, what does that do for the AP? What does that do? Does that take you to 7?
Well, and I think, and I don't mean to belabor the BYU point here, but I think we've talked about this repeatedly.
Yeah.
That strength of schedule for BYU is a real question because of how poor the Pac-12 has been.
Yeah.
And, like Baylor losing last week is an absolute ball buster for BYU.
But when you have comparables like that kind of an example, hey, Oklahoma only won by 1, BYU won by 20.
But Oklahoma is incredibly disappointing right now.
Yeah. Still Oklahoma.
You're only a 3-point favorite against what is really just not a very good Texas team.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. All I'm saying is Oklahoma's a national brand.
Yeah. Well, let's hope people agree with you. Spencer Morgan says an offensive shootout with an unproven QB is probably the worst case scenario for BYU. They need to win the way they beat Utah. Yes. They do. Daryl says, bring back my favorite all-time QB, Christian Stewart, legend. Okay. Monty, I don't see how Conover is starting QB going into the Big 12 because clearly he's going to be starting the rest of the year, win the Heisman next year, and then go pro. Well, he's going to win the Heisman this year too, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to win back-to-back Heisman.
Obviously, yeah.
No? Okay, maybe I just got that wrong. Josh, love you, Spence. Josh Alpaw says Baylor is a great QB, but Hall to me brings a lot to the table with his feet. I have felt way more comfortable with the ball at quarterback than with Hall at quarterback than Baylor. I don't see. Here's the problem though. One, Jaron Hall undoubtedly, and there's no way around it. He's injury prone now.
Yes.
There's no way around it. Now that we know it's ribs and shoulder.
Yes.
You can't count on him to be healthy. That's one thing. He doesn't bring you big playability with his arm. Yes, he can run. Yes, back-to-back weeks he broke off ASU and Utah. He arguably won those games with his legs. Totally get it. But when you have Baylor Romney in the game, you obviously you are going to have to respect his big playability down the field. You're going to have to respect the play action, and you're going to have to respect the run. All of that said, it slows down the linebackers. And the most lethal weapon on 9 out of 10 defenses in college football is the linebacker.
Yeah.
And I think when you scheme to win football games, you scheme to beat the other team's best linebacker. Wimpy's a great example for Boise. I mean, that's their best player defensively. So you're going to have to account for him. My point is Baylor Romney really holds, and we saw it against Utah State. Baylor Romney held their linebackers in check. He was able to look them away, and that's how they were able to get the ball down the field.
Which Jaron is not doing.
Jaron is not capable of doing that because nobody respects his deep ball.
Yeah.
And right now, by the way, with the shoulder injury, he doesn't have a deep ball.
Yeah.
So
that's why I say it's not really like when you start looking at how people can control the game, it's not really a question of who's better at doing that. Baylor is the best of these three right here today. Right? Now, again, Conover rolls out. shows us he can look safeties off, shows us he can do all this stuff. Okay, different conversation on Monday. But right here today, Baylor's your best quarterback, and I agree. I don't remember whose name that was, but I agree with you, man. Like, I love watching Jaren play football. I love his ability with his legs. I love the dynamic that he brings, but I don't love the hero ball running. I don't love the injury risk that he presents himself, because no matter what, even if you're bringing Baylor in behind him, no matter what, there's no getting around the fact that when you have to switch quarterbacks, you got to rebuild all that momentum you just had. And I just don't think that they have time or space to do that. Put Baylor in the game and take this thing to the end. That's what you want. And that's frankly what I would do, regardless of what Conover does tomorrow. Frankly, that's what I would do. I would, once Baylor's ready, I'd bring him right back in.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. We'll see. And I mean, candies and nuts again. I mean, we can surmise all we want, but what I'm telling you is that if Jacob Conover comes in and throws the ball all over the field, he'll never give up the job. He won't. I mean, it does not make a lot of sense. You know, I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting. Oklahoma State, not Oklahoma. Yeah, I was going to say that, by the way. It's Oklahoma State that.
Oh, that was 21-20.
Yeah. Boise beat Oklahoma State. I can't remember who said that, but it's not Oklahoma. Spencer Morgan says, give Probo Pitt the smoker. He can start a business. Okay. Daryl says, shoulder is a usage injury. Ribs, a collision injury. I don't know, because obviously that's HIPAA, and that's HIPAA.
Yeah.
That's HIPAA.
I think that's HIPAA.
Thank you. So we don't know when that happened. We don't know the extent. I was told there was quite a bit of concern last week for the ribs more than the shoulder.
It's not the best situation, and we all know that.
It does. At this point, does it really matter? I mean, he's not able to throw the football effectively.
You know.
So we'll see what happens there. Cam Harrison says, I'm tired of seeing articles about how the Big 12 will lose its P5 status. That's not going to happen. Dane says, you might hurt her feelings. You might hurt her feelings. Oh, Dane says, hey, don't talk crap on Jaren. My wife grew up 3 houses down. Well, okay, cool. Provo Barbecue said, I'm good. If I bring home another smoker, my wife will divorce me after kicking my ass. Exactly right. Oklahoma State 5-0, ranked 12th. Yeah, that's a good win. That's a good win. You know, I mean, that playing them close like that, hey, that's cool. You know, look, I look at, again, not to be redundant, strength of schedule is significant.
Yeah.
When you look at the fact that Boise took Oklahoma State to the wire, that's great.
Yeah.
You know, but you also looked at they lost to UCF. Their wins are UTEP and Utah State. Those are not quality wins. Their losses are Nevada, Oklahoma State, and UCF. This is a disastrous season for Boise.
Yeah.
Which means beating Boise, you need to roll them. It'd be great to win 52-10. Like, you need to just come out and blow them off the field.
You need to prove a point.
You know, like, to me, that's what's got to happen. Will it? I don't know. I have no idea. But strength of schedule is going to be a real problem for BYU going down the stretch because, like, let's get into Utah and USC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By the way, your prediction for BYU, I'm 38-28 BYU over Boise.
42-21.
Okay.
Dominant performance.
So you think Boise wins?
No. I think
good.
BYU wins.
Thank you.
And I think they win comfortably.
Utah at USC, the Coliseum in Los Angeles. It's been 718 years since Utah went to LA and won at the Coliseum. 6 p.m. Fox Television.
Fox.
A little bit of an odd number in this game. It's pretty much a pick'em because USC is only a 3-point favorite at home.
Whoever came up with that shit need to be fired.
And the home team always gets 3 points from the boys in Vegas.
Yeah.
Number's 52. Here's my question. With all the tumult and turmoil at Utah, the tragedy, the pain, the emotion.
Yeah.
Is that going to help Utah or is that going to hurt the Utes?
I think it's going to help them. I think this game is going to be incredibly close. This game is going to be a much-watched game, frankly, because yes, the emotions of everything that's happened, the timing of the bye week, not only are you rested, but you've had time to process what's happened with the Aaron Lowe situation and kind of go through that whole thing. And now you're at a point in that situation with this program where it's like, okay, we need to let go of that and we need to kind of put it in the back of our mind. And then we need to go out and reestablish ourselves as a quality team in the Pac-12 this year. And I think I think, frankly, if Utah loses this game, there's no getting around it. I mean, they're done for the year. I mean, if you lose this game, what else are you going to say? Hey, well, we can go off and win 5 in a row. No, you're not saying that. And you've been kind of saying, well, they haven't lost anything. They can still go and win the Pac-12. I don't even believe that's the way we should be looking at Utah right now. I think this is a game-by-game basis for this program because of what happened with Aaron Lowe, because of what happened with Charlie Brewer, because clearly Witt is out of gas and clearly, obviously to me, ready to get to the next thing in his life. And I think this is a huge game. I think Kyle Whittingham wants to send this thing off the right way, and so
Absolutely.
To me, you're rested. You've got a lot of emotion powering you. And I wouldn't be surprised if they came out and played a really hard-hitting, physical brand of football. That said, will they win the game? That's a different conversation because I don't necessarily believe in what Cam Rising has shown yet. I don't believe that they're just going to show up and throw the ball all over the yard. So I think this is a really, really tight game.
I would agree with that. Hey, what's up, Chris Murphy, who just subscribed on the channel, C Murphy Pro on Twitter. What is up, Sarah Bobo?
Bro, you guys are crazy cool right now.
Sarah Bobo, she's the eclectic redhead.
Oh, okay,
What's
Sarah.
up?
What's up?
What's up, Sarah?
What's up?
And look at those sunglasses today. Hey, she's got her blue sunglasses on today.
Drinking the blue Kool-Aid.
Love that. You guys are crazy, man. This is
What are we at now? 28 to go?
Yeah, we're at 70. I think if those two are the only two, we'd be at 70, 24-71.
There you go.
24-71.
Dude, I'm telling you, if you're not in, you've got the weekend, and that's it. And really, I think you got till the end of tomorrow, if I'm being honest.
How did we get here?
We didn't get anywhere. It's the people doing this. It's the people doing this. Yeah.
I remember when we were like, we got 1,000 subs. We'll talk about it sometime.
Listen, we started this thing at 100?
100 and I think 104 in February.
Yeah. After the Twitch disaster.
Twitch recruited us to join their sports talk platform, and we did. It was a total wreck. So we were like, well, we can't go back to Periscope, so let's go to YouTube Live. And since then, it's been unbelievable. And so we said at 1,500, hey, we're going to give away a Traeger smoker.
2,500.
No, when we were at 1,500.
Oh, when we were at 15.
We said we're going to give away a Traeger smoker. And we're like, that's 1,000 away. Here we are. So we appreciate you. Back to Utah. I think the emotions is going to be a very good thing. It's not going to be enough to win the game because I don't know what Cam Rising is as a quarterback. And in the oddities that has been this season, and this season has been an oddity, you have a quarterback, and I'm never going to say his name on this show again. Screw him. You have a quarterback who comes in, puts himself off as a leader and then quits the team.
Douche.
And now Cam Rising, who almost won the job in camp and probably now rightfully should have, is your starting quarterback, but he has been less than impressive.
It's my quarterback.
If they're going to beat USC, Cam Rising is going to have to do the job. He's going to have to push the ball down the field because that's how you're going to beat USC. And my question is, how on earth do you come together through everything that the Utes have been through all the questioning and the concern? Because before the Aaron Lowe murder, there were questions about this football team. Something was wrong the moment this team hit fall camp. And a lot of people are questioning whether Kyle Whittingham is checked out. And then you have the quarterback quit. And then you have the Aaron Lowe situation, which, by the way, you don't even wrap that up until the entire team gets on a flight and heads to the funeral on Monday. I think this is the very, very right moment for this team to play football again.
Yeah. It's time.
Utah needs to play a football game.
Yeah.
They may come out and exercise their demons. I just don't know if they're talented enough, frankly. I don't know what's wrong with this offense. Where is offense at Utah gone? Because you have running back by committee right now, and you've got quality running back. I mean, I like Micah Bernard a lot.
Yeah.
I do. But Pledger gives you big play, it feels like. But your tight ends are your best wide receivers. And you have a quarterback that's questionable at getting the ball down the field. So you're going to play underneath, which plays right into the speed and power of that USC defense. So I guess my point is I don't know what to think about this Utah team, which is why I cannot pick them to win this game.
Yeah.
Because I think when you have all of these question marks, it 9 times out of 10 does not lead to production on the football field.
Right.
Where do you come down on this? Like, what is your feeling?
I think my feeling is similar. I think, yeah, they're going to roll out, and I do think that they're going to play, with emotion, and they're going to be really physical in the first quarter. And I think, hopefully that results in a turnover, and they've got some momentum, and maybe they leave the first quarter ahead by a point or two, But then I think as the game goes on, the defense is going to get exposed a little bit, and I think SC will have their way. And I just think that right now, Utah is just not in that place where you're like, all right, we're a juggernaut. We're going to beat you with defense like they have been in years past. And so I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I would love nothing more than to see the Utah defense roll out and go and shut down USC at their place. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think this team is having a rough go. That's what I think. I think they're facing a lot of adversity. I think that they have gone through things that most programs will never even think about going through. And I think it is what it is. That's the best way to say it. Like, you just are where you are, and you're going to give it your best shot. But I think ultimately SC is probably 30 points in this game.
Well, what makes you hopeful is that USC has been maddeningly inconsistent running the football. With Keaton Slovis, they have been maddeningly inconsistent passing the ball, yet they're, I believe, the 19th ranked passing offense in the country. Oh, good news. The Utes are pretty good against the pass. The University of Utah is the 13th ranked passing defense, and Keaton Slovis can be had. That's where this game will be won and lost.
Yeah.
Turnovers, interceptions mainly, getting after the quarterback, and converting those 8-play drives into touchdowns, not field goals. That's how this game will be won. And my feeling is that this game is going to be much closer than people think. I think it's going to be 27-24 USC. 27-24 USC.
I think it's close most of the game, but USC pulls away at the end. I think Utah makes a mistake in the second half somewhere. And I think USC gets to 30. I don't think they'll get more than that, but I do think they get to 30 points. And I think Utah finishes at 21, so 30-21.
30-21.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a one-score game, you got to feel pretty good about Utah.
Yeah.
I just don't like Keaton Slovis.
Oh, me either.
And I know that
me
it's probably overkill on this show with Slovis, but if this was Jackson Dart, I'd be telling you this is a 31-17 USC win. It's not, and so it won't be. And when you have the talent that Utah puts on the field, and I mean their offense is a disaster,
right?
Their defense is still pretty good. I think this is going to be pretty close. I'm gonna stick and stay 27-24. If Utah turns the ball over against USC like they did against Washington State, it's going to be a USC blowout. Truth.
Yeah, can't turn it over.
Very true. Tyrena.
Hello.
Tile 3 Rena. I love Jaron and Baylor. Yeah, exactly. I love Jaron and Baylor both, but Jaron's better. Here's why. He played 3 P5 defenses.
I love this narrative, dude.
What does it matter? Arizona's defense was not good. Utah's defense, good. Arizona State's defense has not been good.
Yeah.
And then it's good. And then it's not good. So my question is, you were at home for those games. The Arizona game might as well have been a home game. You went to Utah State. Jaron wasn't even available for that game because he was hurt again. Baylor threw the ball all over the field in the 2 games he played, and then he got hurt. I just don't think you can count on Jaron Hall. The P5 defense thing is
that's just not.
It's to me it doesn't hold a whole lot of water because
it's a paper thing, not a field thing, as I like to say. Yeah, they're a P5 defense on paper. On the field, they're not. They're not. They can be had easily.
Yeah, I mean Arizona's just not very good.
No,
at all. But hey, I respect your opinion. I'm not saying you're wrong. James Knight says, Jake, you look like less of a virgin without the glasses. Good for you, man.
Oh, man. How many minutes are we into the show? What are we at, an hour?
60 minutes exactly.
Damn, we made it 60 minutes until the first virgin joke today. I'm proud of you guys. Okay. Really proud of you guys,
Okay. The Blind Swordsman DS. What's up? Where have you been? He says, missed you guys yesterday. Took my son to the zoo. I appreciate you guys taking away my stress for an hour and a half at least every morning. Y'all are the bomb. Thank you. I appreciate
thanks, bro.
that.
Appreciate that. Hey, what's your how is the zoo? I haven't heard much. Is there a good is he here? Is he in Utah?
I don't know where the Blind Swordsman is.
Yeah, like is there I didn't know there was a zoo in Utah if there is.
The Hogle Zoo. Is there a zoo in Utah? There's an awesome zoo in Utah.
Well, bro, I'm not a zoo expert.
You're an
How would I
embarrassment.
know, dude?
You're an
I'm a
embarrassment.
virgin. How do I know these things? Jesus.
True, but you know.
Hey, look here, man.
You are hung like a lizard.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is, the eclectic redhead said, blue goggles all the way for my Cougs. There you go. Brylark says 28-27, Utah with a field goal to win with time
Man,
expired.
I would love nothing more than that, dude.
Jeremy Bolton says, Kyle Whittingham has been what's wrong with the Utah offense for the past 10 years. Ooh.
I don't disagree with that.
Yowza.
I know that's harsh, but I can't say that I disagree with it. He's always been a defense-first guy.
Well, and he's changed coordinators too much. I mean, that's well documented. I mean, your mom, I think, was the offensive coordinator at one point.
And Luca's mom as well.
Greg Hawkins says, if Utah turns the ball over against USC, yeah, I already read that one, my bad. Leonard Avalos says the USC team is better at running the ball this year. They just haven't been, though. I mean, they always, whether it's Rojo, Reggie Bush, point to the guy you want. They always have backs. They always have receivers. The thing that is frustrating is they don't commit to the run because they always have one of the top quarterback recruits in the country.
Yeah.
And so whether it's Darnold or whether, Slovis, Jackson Dart, like they don't commit to the run. Also, how did Slovis get worst from his freshman year to now?
I just don't think he's been very good either way.
I think Keaton Slovis was at USC, and I think Clay Helton just has not. That team just doesn't develop talent. They're one of the, and this is what Kyle Whittingham is famous for.
Yeah.
USC recruits 5-star athletes and turns them into 3-star football players.
Think about the Pete Carroll era at USC and how many of those guys got to the league. You can see a clear delineation between that style and like mantra and brand of USC football versus what it's been with Clay Helton, which is, hey, yeah, I mean, USC's always going to put guys into the league, but you never had the Reggie Bush level star happening at USC under Clay Helton. That's the thing. And I think Keaton Slovis has always been a guy who's been labeled as some great, the veteran quarterback at USC. And he's never really been that great of a quarterback. And to me, it's just unbelievable that the timing of Jackson Dart getting hurt, because I really do think that not only would you've had the head coaching change, but I do think Jackson Dart would be starting if he was healthy. I do.
Jeremy Bolton wants to weigh in on the zoo.
Okay, here we go.
He said, time to take your teacher to the zoo, both at Hogle and in the bedroom.
Excellent point, sir.
Leonard Avalos says, yeah, the zoo in Utah is nice. In summertime, they have zoo and brews. Brylark says, went to the Smithsonian Zoo a couple of months ago in D.C. Hogle Zoo runs circles around that zoo.
How does Hogle Zoo stack up against the San Diego Zoo? That's the last zoo I was at.
I mean, San Diego Zoo, I haven't been in a number of years. San Diego Zoo is a great zoo.
Yeah.
I just don't like, okay, this is probably too far. I don't like going to zoos because I don't like I don't like putting animals in a petri dish.
Yeah.
I just don't. It's why I have always refused to go to the, whatever it is, whale watching thing in San Diego. What is it? Oceanot, whatever, they have the whales and stuff.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
SeaWorld.
I don't know what it's called.
That's why I don't go to SeaWorld.
Where they have the whales and stuff,
Yeah, I just don't zip my pants.
The
to see a
orcas.
whale. Okay, I'll stop. I think Olivia is once, twice, 3 times the lady over the teacher. I'm telling you, there's a problem with the teacher. It's just my opinion. Omaha Zoo is one of the best in my opinion.
So wait, as part of our locks and our pick'ems on Fridays, are we locking the prospects in my life? Is that what we're doing now?
Oh yeah, this one that you're having coffee with this weekend, forget it.
Is that a good thing or a bad
that's
thing?
a going nowhere thing.
Okay.
That's a going nowhere thing.
Okay.
I'll just say bamboo sheets.
So wait, every person I've brought along, you've said is not good. So we need to figure out what the criteria is for you.
The teacher seems to be a good prospect, right?
Mm-hmm. Is she a Jacob Conover level prospect, or what do you think?
No, she's Travis Wilson.
Wow, she's Travis Wilson. That's some haterade right there.
Apologize to that man.
That is a haterade statement right there, bro.
No, this girl you're going out with this weekend, the problem is that she, like on her Hinge profile that you showed me, she misspelled like 7 things.
Okay, she's not a teacher. What's
She
the problem?
She's like, oh, I'd rather have bamboo sheets shoved under my nails. It shoots.
It shoots, you moron.
Sharon Face defense is giving up 22.3 and 17.1 points a game. Baylor Face defense is giving up 30 plus. Okay, cool.
Cool, dude.
Baylor Romney sucks. We get it. Wow, she's Travis Wilson, LMAO. I'm just saying.
You got to fuck one, marry one, kill one. Go.
Jordan Wynn, Travis Wilson, and Alex Smith. Filio Carter says, okay, I read that one. My bad. Jeremy Bolton says, are we going to put any over-under bets on Jake's dating life?
Well, define the over-under.
Dude, you got to stop. You got to get over this being single thing. I'm fucking tired of it. Like, with all due
What do
respect,
you mean?
I'm tired of it.
Tired
man.
of what? Like, what do you want me to do?
I want you to get laid. It feels like this is all we ever talk about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I'm watching these guys jackhammer in the backyard the other day, and I'm like, damn, I wish Jake was doing that.
Listen,
like, come on.
Listen.
That thought never went.
Kick it, will flow.
So that came out the wrong way. That's not. Anyway, the point is, it's time for you to fall in love and get married and get the hell out of my life. Like, no, I'm kidding.
Well, hey.
I just want you to be happy. Like this, you settle.
I don't settle, dude. I talk to the people who want to talk to me.
Oh my God.
Well, like, Jesus.
James Knight says just pound anything with a heartbeat.
Yeah, you know.
How the fuck else would you do this, Joe?
Can you just play the Locks music, please? Like, anything with a heartbeat?
Monty and Jake are giving you their locks for college and NFL football, plus the inside info you need to know to make the right call. Now, let's get you the locks. Here's Monty.
This show's ridiculous. Does that wait, James Knight, does that include Joe Ingles? Anyway. Oh! All right. Time to talk some National Football League locks. Bills, Chiefs, Sunday Night Football. One name you need to know, and it's Dawson Knox. Does Dawson Knox get over on the Chiefs defense? If he does, the Bills will win, but he's not going to outplay Travis Kelce. That's a big question. By the way, how much faith do you have in your boy, the quarterback at Kansas City?
Oh, I have a lot of faith in him, but I'm not picking them to win this week. I can tell you that right
You're
now.
not?
I'm not. No, I think this is going to be a tight game. I think Josh Allen is really clutch. I think that the Bills are a team that is suited. If there was ever a team that was suited to go on the road and make things happen, it's the Bills. They are a gritty team. They have the right mindset about them, and I think that Josh Allen is capable of making plays. Now, the thing that can't happen is you can't let Tyreek get loose in the secondary and think you're going to win this ball game. So that's what I'm going to be looking for.
Chiefs are 2.5-point favorite. Ain't going to happen. Bills 30, Chiefs 28. Over the number.
So you're taking the Bills as well?
I am. I think Dawson Knox is a hell of a tight end.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I can't say the same thing about your date Sunday.
Okay.
Bears at the Raiders. See what I see?
Yeah, hell of a tight end. We get it. Yeah.
What's your pick?
Bills, for sure.
Okay. 30-28. I'm taking them to go over. Bears, Raiders in Las Vegas. Okay, so I would like to point this out. Wait, hang on. I'm perfect in every way, and I'm better looking than Jake. I asked Jake to go to L.A. on opening night to see the Bears and the Rams. He said, no, I'm not going to do that. The Bears have now been in L.A. We didn't go. The Bears are now in Las Vegas. We're not going. Just want to point that out. Justin Fields is the new starting quarterback for the foreseeable future.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not. Because
Okay.
Matt Nagy's a terrible head coach. Bears at the Raiders, 5.5-point home favorite. I would love the Raiders to win this game, just so Matt Nagy gets fired. But this is going to be closer than people think. I think, unfortunately, I need it to be like 55-3, the Raiders win. That ain't going to happen. I think I'm going to take the Las Vegas Raiders 31, the Chicago Bears 27. Justin Fields will have the ball in his hands with a chance to win the game in the fourth quarter.
I don't think it's that close. I think it's 31-21. I think the Raiders will get to Justin Fields because that offensive line is garbage, and I think that it will force him into making a mistake, which is why they'll win 31-21.
Giants at the Cowboys. 52 is the number in this game. I don't know why the Giants are even going to Dallas. Just forfeit the game because you're going to get torched. Ezekiel Elliott is running as well as he's ever run in his career. He's lost weight. He's gained power. He's fast. He's explosive. And by the way, he's a blocking machine right now. You have a number 2 back that is doing 2 things, pushing Zeke and giving him rest. I love the Cowboys in this game, 37-20 to cover the 7-point number.
Yeah, you listen to ESPN, they tell you that the Giants always play well at Jerry World, and the Giants are going to make this a close game. I'm telling you that's a load of crap. I'm telling you the Cowboys are a juggernaut this year, and I agree with everything you just said about Zeke and Dak and everything. I think this is a Cowboys victory, and I think that it is a relatively comfortable one at that.
49ers at the Cardinals, 53 points. That's it. Cardinals favored by 2.5 in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Arizona Cardinals the best team in the NFL? Hell no, they're not.
No.
They may be undefeated, but I saw a team in Seattle last night, the Los Angeles Rams of Los Angeles,
who don't rent their stadium
to the San Diego Padres, who are the Chargers who play in L.A. Anyway, my point is, I like the Cardinals a lot. The 49ers are banged up, but their defense is still elite. Verticality had better come to play this weekend. This is another game that's going to be very close. It's a one-score game that Arizona is going to win 27-20.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a higher scoring game than that, but I still think the Cardinals win it. I look at this game and I say this is like a 35-31 game, mainly because Kyler Murray is going to turn the ball over once in this game, and the 49ers are going to take advantage of that. And I think that the 49ers will just not have enough to overcome in the end. So that's why I like it as a 35-31 game.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
So, again, on BYU, I'm going 38-28. BYU's a 6-point home favorite.
Yep.
The number's 58 on the game. I'm going BYU 38. Boise State 28. I think BYU rolls.
I think BYU rolls more than that. I'm telling you it's 42-21. Ass kicking.
Wow. Okay. USC 27, Utah 24.
Yeah, I think USC gets 30 points in this game. I'm going 30-21 USC.
Kay Newren says Zach wins again. She's referencing the Jets, who I think it's been since 1769 that they've won 2 games in a row.
Hell of a performance by Zach last week.
Well, I mean, can we stop guessing? Are they playing this week, the Jets? The Jets have the Falcons. Oh, that's in London. That's why it's so early. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Go Chelsea Football Club. Jets at Falcons. Falcons are a 2.5-point favorite in this game. You can have either or, Zach Wilson or Matt Ryan.
Zach Wilson, for sure.
Zach Wilson or Justin Fields?
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson or Derek Carr?
To play for the Jets?
Sure.
I mean, if you're playing for the Jets, I think I'd probably rather have Derek Carr because he's more capable. But, I just think that Zach Wilson has so much talent, and he's being developed right now, and people need to stop hating on him.
Zach Wilson or Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Joe Burrow.
Kirk Cousins or your mom?
Luca's mom.
The Falcons are a 2.5-point favorite in this game. I actually do like the Jets. It's on grass. I could see the Jets winning that game.
Tight one. Close one.
It's a tight one, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, we'll see. All right, those are your locks for the week. Brylark, we could pull 12 guys from this chat and beat the Giants. I would agree with that. Spencer Morgan says, agree with Monty. Dumb sentence structure and grammar is a turnoff. It's indicative of a chaotic, messy thinking. What did I tell you about this girl?
We get it. So here's the thing.
I'm desperate, so I got to take out anybody.
I'm actually not desperate, and I've actually gotten laid more than you think. I'm just telling you, when you're on a dating app, you're not going to meet. It's harder to meet quality people on dating apps. That's just not in question. And that's why I say, and we joked about it earlier in the week, but that's why I say, like, I hope that I run into somebody snowboarding or, like, doing something. But we'll see.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
It is harder to meet on dating apps, which is
Quality
why,
people.
right, yeah. I mean, I just don't think you're getting wifed on a dating app.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I know it's happened.
It's happened, yeah.
I just don't. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't. That's just me.
It's just me. I mean, what do you want from me? It's just what I do. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're relying on snowboarding to date people.
No,
And
what I'm saying is that's a good opportunity. See, you always change shit. Like
I'm not changing shit. How did I change that?
Because you what you just said was, hey, you're relying on snowboarding to meet people. That's not what it is. What I'm saying is that is a decent opportunity to meet somebody. Like it is. That doesn't mean I'm only going to do it there. Like
No, I agree with you.
You know what I mean? Like it's not.
But I think it helps you because you have to cover up your face and stuff so people can't see.
Yeah, so
it.
they can't see my ugly ass douche looking face. You know.
I mean that to me
is
why
it's a real improvement.
Snowboarding is good for you.
Yeah.
The hooker offer is still on the table. James says, "Boy, James Knight has turned into a degenerate the last couple of weeks. Like I mean, he just is about it." Jake, go the impromptu route.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Like just walk up to somebody? Is that what you mean?
I guess. The Nye guy says the only time Olivia says no is when you ask her if she's had enough. Wow. Good Lord.
Wow.
What happened to this show?
Well, we're BYU fans and we're good Mormons until we're talking about dating.
Okay, so do we talk about the colonoscopy that's coming up in a month? 3.5 weeks.
Do you want to talk about it?
Not really. I'm terrified, man. I'm not scared of the actual colonoscopy.
No, you're
itself.
scared of the drugs.
Yeah, I'm scared of the anesthesia.
Yeah.
I'm terrified of it.
Yesterday when I was at the eye doctor, he was like, all right, so, do you want to dilate your eyes so I can look into the back of your eye, into the depths of your soul? And I was like, well, is that necessary? And he was like, well, it's recommended, but not necessary. And I was like, well, is it going to impair me from driving home? Yeah, probably. Okay, we're not doing it then. Like we're not doing it. So it just, yeah. Going to the doctor's not fun, dude.
No, it's not. And the funny thing is I have to, I've lost significant weight. I've lost significant inches. I tried on some winter clothes the last couple of days.
How'd that go for you?
Very well.
Mine did not fit. I'm fat.
But you're not fat. The other thing is you bought those pants when you were like 20, 21 years old.
I know.
You wouldn't expect them to fit. But it's been an interesting ride. So I went to the doctor in August, and he's like, hey, fat ass, lose some weight. I was like, okay. He's like, well, why don't you come back in November, and we'll do a checkup. I was like, all right, cool. Because I have no, knock on wood, I have no major, hey, ass vacuum. I give my dog one morning of freedom. One morning of freedom. I take off the cone of shame because he won't stop licking his butt.
It's quite simple, so I don't know why motherfuckers be overcomplicating it.
He's drunk on his fecal matter.
Dude.
Anyway, the point is...
Look at him looking... So Mrs. Monty's putting the cone of shame on him right now.
It's brutal.
And he's looking out like, what are you doing? How could you do this to me?
I can't reach the chocolate thunder if you do this. Anyway,
yeah, I know what time it is.
Yeah. The point is, so I have to go back to the doctor November 3rd for a checkup. Yeah. Just kind of a touch point. And he said he was calling it an accountability thing. So I've lost good weight. Like I'm in much better health. So just checking up on
your body or like...
Yeah, touch point. And then the next day I get another touch point with a colonoscopy. Yeah, right? Yeah, bring the Roto-Rooter guy to the doctor appointment. But the point is, so I'm having this checkup. But I've done really well. Mrs. Monty and I were talking about it last night that we're really making good advancement.
Yeah.
Like the other day I tried on a bunch of shorts that I hadn't been able to fit in, and they're all like big now. And,
so wait, did your snowboarding stuff fit?
I didn't try my snowboarding pants on. I'm going to do that this weekend because I am going to go and I need to figure out what I need for the year.
Yeah.
So we were supposed to go last week. You guys blew me off.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to a board shop this weekend and get my board waxed. But yeah, I think what we're going to wind up doing is just staying the course because like I'm eating I'm probably getting too much fiber if there's such a thing. But my health is great. I'm really lucky. Like my doctor was thrilled. I got my blood work back. It was perfect. Like no issues at all. So this colonoscopy thing, like it used to be they recommended it if you were 50 plus. If you had any family history or symptoms, they would tell you to get a colonoscopy before 50. Well, they moved the goalpost back on that, and now it's, like 45, I think it is.
Yeah.
And they recommend that I'm of the age that you're supposed to get one every couple of years now.
Yeah.
It's like I just don't want to do it. Like
Sucks,
I have no I have no desire to do it.
Yeah.
Kay Newren says church is the best place to find happiness.
Sure. Okay. Whatever you tell
Is
yourself.
happiness, is that a relationship or just happiness?
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
The blind swordsman says, I'm in Utah. Nice. Jeremy Bolton says, can't have a Friday without an ass vacuum. True.
Hey.
It's true. No doubt about it. The Nye Guy says, Monty, if my sissy ass can be knocked out for neck surgery, you'll breeze through a colonoscopy. Yeah, I'm not worried about the procedure. It just, I think anesthesia is pretty safe. I get it. But my wife gets to have a local anesthetic.
What does that mean?
Like she doesn't have to be fully put out.
Okay.
She'll just she'll take a nap and she'll wake up and it'll be over. But yeah, there you go. But they say you lose 7 pounds for a colonoscopy.
Jesus.
Well, because they
Are
give
you serious?
Yeah, because you have to
7 pounds?
Bro, you have to drink this stuff the day before that just makes you
My God.
fountain butt. Like
Bro.
it is not good.
Dude.
It is not good.
Are we clear on that?
Yeah, I was nervously while you were trying to poke your eye out this morning. I was nervously watching. I don't know why I woke up thinking about this today. I was like, you know what? Damn, dude, I have a colonoscopy on November 4th.
It's because it's coming. It's weeks now, not months.
I'm
Clock
nervous.
is ticking.
Hey, man, I'm nervous about it. Fat Jesus says no one desires a colonoscopy.
No, dude,
they
it's a
don't.
miserable experience.
No, they don't. But it's worth it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to happily do it. And yeah. So did you buy the new Apple Watch?
No, I did not. No.
Neither did I. I'm also in this deck project, this electrician is going to be a problem. I'm telling you right now.
Okay, why is the electrician a problem now?
Because it's fine. We're going to use this guy. He's a crazy Russian dude. He doesn't have the best price, but he seems to know exactly what he's doing.
You just gave a gift to the Russians.
Right. Well, because we were going to use this other electrician who was more expensive, and he wants to tear a fucking hole in my ceiling.
Why
and I don't want to deal with that.
Why aren't we using Wayman Brothers?
We are, but he doesn't do electricity. He does construction.
Okay, he doesn't know somebody?
I don't know if he knows somebody.
Guy ain't got a sub?
I'm sure he does, but this guy is capable. And the reason I'm using this guy is his Yelp reviews all say he wired my hot tub. He wired my hot tub. He wired my hot tub.
Okay.
So he knows what he's doing. He knows how to wire hot tubs. And so we've had a deck built. By the way, we did not get HOA permission to do this, which now I'm a little nervous about. I don't think we need it, but it makes it makes me a little nervous.
This is Monty's all freaking out in the
But
background.
it's in my backyard, and you can't see it unless you look over our fence. So it's covered, I think. But we had a contractor come out. Wayman Brothers Construction came out and built us a deck, and it turned out great. And now we got to have this electrician come and run the conduit to where the hot tub's going to be.
Yeah.
And this guy's just he texts me every day. Hey, are we ready? Are we ready? What are we doing? Are we ready? And so I finally texted him this morning and I'm like, hey, when are you able to do this? Tuesday, if everything works out well. And it's like, oh, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
What do you mean? Anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, no, I didn't buy a new Apple Watch because we're going to Hawaii and snowboarding's here and food's not cheap. And
yeah,
we spent
Seriously.
$68 on pretty much nothing last night at the store. And by the way, real quick.
Yeah.
Are there no more experienced cashiers and baggers at Harmon's? Well, I am amazed.
It's tiring.
We stood in line at Harmon's the other day for 35 minutes while this kid tried to figure out how to ring up avocados. And it's just, this whole workforce thing is driving me nuts.
Because I'll drop that motherfucker.
Okay, this, I guess, is the complaining part of the show.
You should learn, or that dude should learn how to do his job. And I've always said at Harmon's, I love their brand. I love where they shop, or I love the experience of shopping there.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to have a better training program. You can't just throw kids on the register and say, all right, cool. Because what's the truth of the matter? Checking people out is the lifeblood of your store.
Yes, it is.
If you're not checking people out efficiently, you're losing money.
Thank you, Taylor. Taylor says I look like I've noticed that. Taylor said I've noticed you've lost weight. Good for you, Monty. Keep going.
Yeah.
Well, we trying.
We're not trying. We're doing.
Yeah, we are doing. And it's not that I'm on a diet. People are asking me what my diet is. Here's what I eat every day. High fiber, a lot of carbs in the morning. So I'll usually go, I love this cereal called Heritage Flakes. Or I will have oats, whole oats. I don't eat quick oats anymore because apparently they're not the greatest thing for you compared to old-fashioned whole rolled oats. So I'll either have a cup of oats or a cup and a half of Heritage Flakes.
Mm-hmm.
And I will have some whole grain toast. And then probably about 11:30, I will have a protein bar. And then usually for lunch, I have a protein like chicken and a bag of steamed vegetables. And then usually around 3 or 4 o'clock, my wife will bring me a protein bar. And I usually have 2 rock stars, sugar-free rock stars. And I usually have 80 ounces of water a day. That's all I eat. That's it. I don't. On the weekends, we will smoke things like a whole chicken. I think we're going to make chicken tacos this weekend. We're going to get two whole birds. We're going to smoke them, make a bunch of chicken tacos, and then
that sounds so good, dude.
Yeah, we're going to make a fire Mexican spread for Saturday, and then I think we're going to have chicken for the week. And I'm just going to. I'll eat like peas and chicken, shredded chicken, in a bowl, and sometimes I'll put like Ken's Italian dressing on it. Just depends, but. I've really got it. You know what I have to do? I have to get back on the food diary because I've got to know how many calories I'm taking in. I've really put a lot of time and effort into this, and I want to be losing 3 pounds a week, and right now I'm losing about a pound a week, and so that tells me one thing: I need to kick up my cardio and I need to really watch my caloric intake.
Yeah,
and then that brings us to should I play basketball? I am triple vaccinated. I got my booster. So this weekend basically is 2 weeks. So do I start playing pickup basketball at Vaza Fitness again? You're all into that.
I just don't. At some point, you're going to have to get past it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it's dumb that you're concerned about it, but what I am saying is COVID's not going anywhere. It's not. It's not. It's here to stay.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna take more risks. And I feel like. Listen, I have a booster, I have the Pfizer vaccine, I'm probably fine. The problem is my wife has asthma. So the thing I worry about is getting COVID and bringing it home.
But she's also vaccinated.
She is. She also has
triple
a booster
vaccinated.
shot. Yeah, she has a booster shot. But she's only a week out right now, I think. Today's 1 week for her. So, I worry about that.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
You don't.
I don't.
Okay.
No.
Well, I do. So, Kay Newren says, I love Built Bars. Well, I eat, it's and by the way, the affiliate link is below for my 1 bars. I take Ghost Protein and I eat 1 bars. I haven't found a Built Bar that I love yet, but if you guys eat Built Bars and have a suggestion, I'm happy to try them.
All I'm saying is that for cardio, it's not, hey, basketball or no cardio. So if we're not playing basketball, we're going to have to just suffer it out on the treadmill.
But I have walked. I've picked up my steps.
Yeah.
Like I'm walking quite a bit more now during the day to try and offset that.
Yeah.
So
I just think there's no replacing working hard and sweating and getting yourself to that level.
Yeah, but see, I think recent research shows you running's terrible for you. Unless you're training for a marathon or you're running with a purpose, running's not good for you. They've talked about the stress it puts on your respiratory system, including your heart. They've talked about the stress it puts on your hips, knees, and back. It's just not great for you. And so one of the things that new research has shown is that walking 10,000 steps a day gives you the same benefit as an average person who's not training for an event. It gives you the same benefit as running does. And the reason the benefit works is not because your heart rate is equal, because it's not. Your heart rate running 3 miles is going to be 180. But the point is, it puts so much stress on your system that you're actually damaging your ability to burn calories. So, it is what it is. Gabe says, morning, boys, finally caught you guys. You get up too early. Yes, we do, Gabe.
Yeah, tell us about it.
Way too early. All right, play the music because we got to go.
Yeah, we do.
Appreciate everybody being here. Oh, wow, I won an auction. Oh, my God, I won an auction. Holy bejeezers. All right. The dunk high, the blue dunk high that I will put on StockX the moment it arrives at my home. Hey, starting off good on a Friday. Make sure you subscribe to the show. We're 30 subscribers away, 29 from giving away the Traeger smoker. That's going to happen probably Monday or Tuesday. 2477. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
So we are 23 subscribers away from giving away the Traeger smoker. So make sure you hook it up, hit subscribe. Make sure if you want to win the smoker, hit subscribe, tag us in a photo on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok, any of the three. Jake is SLC Supercars on the Monty Show. Enjoy your weekend. Talk to you Monday. Say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.